The night my 8-year-old daughter tried to reveal a secret through tears but was silenced with a slap. Then a hospital report uncovered a truth that changed everything. I saw my daughter Eva truly frightened for the first time that night. It was around 11 o'clock. Snow was falling outside, and in our suburban Ohio neighborhood, warm yellow light glowed from every window. I was sitting at the kitchen table working through next month's budget. My 401k hadn't grown as much as I'd hoped that year. On top of that, my husband Mark was still paying off old student loans. Life looks easy on Instagram. In reality, people are staring at spreadsheets at 11 at night. That was when Eva came downstairs. Her eyes were red. "Mom, I need to talk to Grandma." I looked up. "Right now." She nodded. Mark's mother, Donna, was staying with us for the week. She was in the guest room. Eva ran upstairs. A few seconds later I heard it. The sound of a slap. Then silence. When I reached the room, Eva was standing there with a hand pressed against her cheek. Donna's face was hard. Children don't talk nonsense in the middle of the night. Eva looked at me. There was something in her eyes. The look of someone trying to ask for help but unable to find the words. I didn't argue. I simply took my daughter downstairs. In chess, not every move is answered immediately. Sometimes you just study the board. At 2 in the morning, Eva began suffering severe stomach pain. We rushed her to the hospital. Under the bright white lights of the emergency room, she curled into herself on the bed. Doctors started running tests. I stayed beside her. Donna and Mark waited in the family lounge. At 4 in the morning, a doctor entered carrying a file. His expression was unusually serious. "We found something unusual," he said. Silence filled the room. Then he placed the report in front of me. Traces of a specific medication had been found in Eva's blood. It was not meant for children, at least not in that dosage. My heart started racing. I asked only one question. How could she have gotten it? The doctor shrugged. "That's what we need to find out." I didn't accuse anyone. I simply took note. The first piece had appeared on the board. For the next 3 days I said nothing. I went to work as usual. I worked in the claims department of an insurance company. There was one thing that job had taught me. Emotions tell stories. Evidence makes decisions. I saved recordings from the smart cameras around the house. I reviewed Eva's school schedule. I photographed everything in the kitchen cabinets. I started reading labels on every medication bottle. Then I found something. Donna's prescription. The exact same medication. But suspicion wasn't enough. And suspicion doesn't win cases. I sat down with Eva. She spoke softly. "I wanted to tell Grandma." "What?" "I saw her putting something in my juice." I stayed silent. "Is that why she slapped me?" Eva lowered her head. I was talking. The game was becoming clear. But the final move still remained. Thanksgiving was approaching. Like every year, the entire family would gather. Donna loved family gatherings. She loved having an audience. This time I needed one too. The difference was that my show was about to begin. On Thanksgiving Day, everyone was there. The turkey sat on the table. Football played on the television. Children ran through the house. A perfectly ordinary American family scene. Before dinner I stood up. "I have an announcement." The room went quiet. I placed a folder on the table. "This is Eva's hospital report." Mark looked startled. Donna's face lost color. I pulled out another page. "This is the medication report." Then another. "And these are the security camera images." I connected my device to the television and played the footage. Complete silence filled the room. Donna appeared clearly on the screen. She was adding something to Eva's juice. The date was visible. Time was visible. There was no room for debate. Donna immediately tried to speak. I was only. For the first time I interrupted her. "Don't." Silence returned. I hadn't called the police. I hadn't filed a lawsuit. I had simply placed every piece of evidence before my lawyer and my family. Entirely within the law. Completely. Mark stared at the screen. Then at his mother. then back at the screen. The confidence he always carried was gone. Sometimes a person isn't punished by a courtroom. They're punished by the truth. That evening, several family members quietly left. Nobody shouted. Nobody created a scene. People simply understood. And that was enough. 2 weeks later, Mark severely limited contact with his mother. The attorneys completed the necessary protective measures. Donna was no longer allowed into our home. The legal paperwork was finalized. Everything followed the rules. No screaming. No dramatic revenge. Just consequences. A few months later, life slowly returned to normal. I went to work. Money continued flowing into my 401k. Mark kept making his student loan payments. Eva started laughing again. One evening she asked me, "Mom, why didn't you say anything that night?" I looked at her, then smiled. Because sometimes the most powerful move isn't speaking. Then what is it? I answered. Waiting. She laughed. But I knew the real answer was bigger than that. Life is like chess. Anger makes the first move. Wisdom makes the last one. And when the final move is played at exactly the right moment, nobody needs to shout. The board itself reveals who won and why.